Leave me alone, you scum. I ain't gonna talk to the likes of you.
I'm sorry. I'll gladly pay for the damages.
All right. But I'll be keeping my eye on you.
Did you see a cart drive through here by any chance?
All the time, friend, from Truskovich to Yitchin and back. Sometimes even a slow cart with a dead body.
I'm looking for a cart loaded with goods from the blacksmith. Probably moving fast.
Now that you mention it, I do recall something of the like. They even dropped a sack of charcoal. When you go out of the cemetery onto the road, you should see it right there on the right-hand side.
A sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
Found anything, lad?
There's a sack of charcoal lying in the ditch to the left of the road. The bailiff said they were driving like the devil, so maybe it fell from the cart.
Oh, that makes sense. To the left it is, then. Gnarly! Back here!
I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the car back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses, too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg, while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
That's the change in the economical situation, sir. The burghers have more rights, and they make smart use of them. They put their coin to work for them. They've got shops, baths, inns, mills, while the nobles sit waiting until Jack from Backwater Hamlet brings them 3 groschen in taxes on St. Gallus's Day.
You're right there. Only Jack hasn't even got 3 groschen these days. None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. This is strange. I don't see any cart tracks. What do you reckon, Gnarly?
I'm blind as a mole, sir. But it's all peculiar right now. Where the hell could that cart have vanished to?
Well, that's just it. They had nowhere to turn off.
I'll look up the road a bit. And you, Henry, have a look back along the road. Maybe it fell in a ditch somewhere. Who knows?
Very well, sir. Sack of charcoal? That could have fallen off the cart.
You found anything?
There's a sack of charcoal.
Oh, that makes sense.
We're getting close. I can feel it in my bones, sir. You'll have the cart back in no time.
I just hope we find the horses too. Yarmilka here ain't the youngest, and I wouldn't want to drag it back home myself.
A nobleman in harness. We ain't ever had such a spectacle in these parts.
You might get to see it soon enough. The lords in this country have all gone to the dogs. Every lowborn with a bit of coin builds a house in Kuttenberg while we live in squalor. Why do you reckon that is, lad?
It's not my place to talk of such things, sir.
You see, Gnarly? At least the lad knows his place and the order of the world.
Or he's afraid to speak his mind, sir.
None of this would be happening if we had a king. And I mean a real one, not Wenceslas or Sigismund. Oh, anywhere that's not ruled by a strong hand, all sorts of things go wrong.
Especially when you've got Moravian relatives eating you out of house and home.
Oh, hold up. Well, that's...
I look and you...
Very
blacksmith's cart. And someone went to a hell of a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Hey! I found the blacksmith's cart! Come here!
Well, now, here we have it. The blacksmith's cart.
Someone went to a lot of trouble to hide it from the road.
Of course, the goods are gone. The bastards hauled it off to the rocks. That's clear. Well, we can't let them get away with it. We'll carry on, but on foot. My old Yarmilka would only break a leg there. And keep a sharp lookout. Something stinks here.
I told you, they got ambushed by them bastards that's on the rampage round here, sir.
Oh, be quiet. We still can't be sure of anything.
Ah, Apollonia. I spent a lot of time running around here as a young lad.
Oh, not me. This place always gave me the shivers.
God's truth, I ain't got only good memories of it. One time, got my leg stuck in a crevice a bit further on. Trapped there all night I was, shitting myself with fear. It wasn't till morning that the folk from the fortress found me. The whole of Samine was out looking for me.
See, at least you came here as a kid. It still gives me the creeps here.
Why is that, sir? It's just some rocks, ain't it?
You'd sing a different tune if you'd had the rope maker's wife as a nanny when you were little. Now, she had some tales about this place. Headless horsemen, goblins, and white ladies. Every night, we'd gather by the hearth. The old woman would sit at her spinning wheel telling stories. I'll tell you, Captain, there isn't much I'm afraid of. But when that blind old crone was croaking her tales of devils and holes to hell, with the fire crackling and the wind whistling outside the windows and the whirring of the spinning wheel. Oh, wait a minute. Can you hear that?
I do. There's somebody there, sure enough.
Let's get closer. What do we do now? I heard more than two voices.
I used to clamber around here as a young lad. The girls from Slattergo used to come make a fire here and jump over it, and so's their underwear wouldn't catch fire. Sometimes they'd take it off.
That's nice, Gnarly, but I don't think it's scantily clad maidens we'll be running into here. So what's that got to do with anything?
Well, there's a nice view into the gorge from up there. We only have to go back a bit, and we can get up there nicely.
Right. Henry, what are you waiting for? This is just the kind of thing we took you along for.
I'm afraid of heights, though.
Jesus Christ, boy, if you've got any sense at all, you'll pull yourself together and get your ass up there. If you've got anything to fear here, it's me. Now shut up and get going.
You really saw that? I'm not kidding. Honza, tell him I'm not having him on. You saw...
You're mine! That's him! Show what you're made of! Going to get it! I'll slice you up! Any other horse son wants me to piss on his grave? Oh, this day took it out of me, and no mistake.
And it ain't over yet, sir. Your goods ain't here, and none of them bastards look like the blacksmith's hands. Am I right, Henry?
Hard to say. I've never actually seen them. But I don't think it was them.
Me neither. But right past that peak is another good camping spot.
You think this was a patrol?
It makes sense. But I don't want to go assuming the worst. We might have just run into them bandits by chance.
Yeah, well, you were right, as always. Let's go, then. Are you ready, Henry?
Shouldn't we send for reinforcements?
Who would we send for? By the time we return, the bastards will be gone along with my goods.
Don't worry, lad. This scum is no match for us.
I am. Let's go.
I thought we had everything clear, Venza. You tried to fuck with me, so until we ride out, you're gonna stick right there and keep your mouth shut.
We did everything you asked. We got the blacksmith cart and the goods.
Horse shit. You tried to fuck me. That bastard cousin of yours owned up to it.
It was his idea. I wanted nothing to do with it.
Make no difference to me, Venza. You vouched for the crooked fucker. So now, it's on you. Actually, you could consider yourself lucky. If you hadn't saved my ass that time in Colleen, I'd have goat ear skin you alive.
Bastards. You can't trust anyone in these parts. Get ready, Gnarly. We are going to parley.
like that time with the Shani, sir.
Yes, exactly.
Only there was more of us that time, and less of them.
Oh, don't worry, there won't be a problem. They're just common thieves. Besides, I'll take young Henry with me.
What, me?
And if they're still feeling brave, you get to try out that new plaything of yours. Ahem, gentlemen. I'm obliged to you for looking after my goods. But I'll take them back now. Just hand them over and I'll let you go.
Oh, you must be from Samin, sir. Of course you can have everything back. As long as you ask nicely, eh? Well, how about we do things differently? You lay down your weapons, and we can all have a nice little chat. I mean, I don't intend to go murdering local lords. I just want your coin.
That's very noble of you, sir.
What are you gaping at? At them!
At them! At them, man!
You're going to fuck with us! Slice him up!
I'll kill you for that!
Show what you're made of! You'll be fucking sorry! There's more of them!
Keep it up!
We'll be over in a...
Come on, man! Yeah, don't scare him!
They got what they deserved, the fuckers! Henry! Hey, Henry! Are you listening? Come here!
I'm a nobleman.
What now?
One of them bastards fled into the rocks. Chase him down and bring him back.
But they'd taken him captive. What use would he be to us?
Are you deaf? Didn't you hear what they said? They took him captive because he wanted to drive off with the load. They fucked over Radovan, fucked over his lordship, and wanted to fuck over that bandit too. They were in cahoots. Only the thief wanted to rob the thieves. And they deserve the same punishment, if not more.
Did you see which way he went?
No, I had other things on my hands. Besides, you're the one who's supposed to keep watch.
I'll go and track him.
Great, hurry.
Bailiff or not, we found... Family's common as muck. And then there's the talk about him. You have to...
Bear me.
I've got you now, Venser. You've nowhere to run to. Yield.
Well, why the fuck would I? It's just you against me. Besides, if I do yield, it's the rope for me anyway.
One-on-one, yeah. But it must be clear to you that you're no match for me. Even if the noose is waiting for you. It's still a more pleasant death than getting your head smashed in with a rock. And believe me, I'll do it if there's no other way.
Fuck! Alright, I'll come with you. But you'll put a word in for me.
I might. As long as you don't try anything.
Promise me!
I won't promise you anything. Now come on. I've got a prisoner for you, sir.
Excellent. It all worked out quite well in the end. Gnarly will take care of this scum.
What about Gules?
He caught a few good hits, but he's alive. We'll take him with us. I need to have a strong word with him. You did a good job, youngster. You've got heart. And so you don't say I had you clambering over these rocks for nothing. Here's something for you.
Thank you, sir.
Don't thank me, you deserved it. Now, let's get that accursed cart back to Samir. Want to ride? We'll go via Troskovitz. We can drop you off there, and you won't have far to Tarkov. You ought to report back to Radovan as soon as possible about what happened with his hands.
A ride would be great. My legs are sore.
Wait until you're my age. Well, let's get going.
I swear, it's all Vence's fault. It was him who said we'll sell the car to Gills.
It weren't like that at all. We shook on it. But on the way, you had the idea we'd keep it.
What? That ain't true.
Leave it out, you two. One way or another, you wanted to fuck me over. Doesn't matter whose idea it was.
We didn't want to steal it. Well, Vencer did. I didn't know what was going to happen.
I didn't want nothing. Well, I got mixed up in this by mistake.
Stop arguing, or I'll unhitch the cart and let the horses drag you the rest of the way.
Huh. Where are you taking us?
To Samin, where his lordship will hear you out and decide what to do with you.
I hope you realize you can't just execute me.
It depends. By rights, I should send a plea to some court to decide if we can behead you. But in these shitty times, nobody will give it to us. Parchment's dear, and ink ain't free either. So as far as I'm concerned, I'd happily risk it and knock your head off without permission.
I see how the law is respected here.
Ha! Are you yanking my pizzle? You're a fine one to talk about law.
And what will happen to us?
What do you think? If they'll execute a nobleman, they won't think twice about a hired hand or two.
You never know, Henry. Lord Samin is merciful. Maybe this whimpering will soften his heart.
Oh, I'm not whimpering. I'm just trying to tell you how it was.
Bollocks! You're full of shit. Don't believe a word he says, Captain.
Samin might be merciful, but whether he'll be in the mood for this, I can't say.
I'm innocent. I swear on my ma's soul.
Is that supposed to soften my heart? Ha! Every Manjikar I dragged to the gallows swore on his mother. Nobody with any decency would risk his mother's immortal soul, even if he was as pure as the driven snow. But this bastard doesn't think twice about his soul. You should be ashamed of yourself.
Captain's right. Only the lowest of the low swears on his mother.
That's right. You always were a piece of shit, Francie. No scruples.
Well, ain't it grand to have you here to explain everything? Now shut your gobs, the three of you. Don't want you poisoning the air with the shit you spout.
Hey, did you forget your clothes somewhere?
At your mother's place, when I was shagging her.
You better watch out for me, got it?
Show me your wares.
Thank you kindly, and come again, friend.
What do you have for sale?
Why are you wasting my time if you don't want anything then, eh?
So, job done. The cart was found and driven to Lord Semin's courtyard.
Whew. That's a relief. And what happened to that pair of idiots?
It turned out they tried to rob you.
Oh. They did they?
Aye. They plotted with some robber baron called Gules and brought the cart to him.
The bastards. I should have realized they were a bit too keen on work. And how did you get the cart back?
Well, I went to Semin, and they were wondering there too where the wagon got to. So we rode out to look for it. Me, Lord Semin, and his captain, Gnarly.
Well, God's nails. And the three of you tracked them down? The whole band?
That's right. They were hiding in Apollonia, along with the cart and the goods.
Indeed. Where else? The bastards. And what about my hands?
I'm not sure. Lord Semin took them and Gules to his courtyard. We'll see how he deals with them.
I'd know what to do with them.
Don't worry. I don't think Lord Semin will let them off lightly.
Anyway, the main thing is the cart turned up. I'd be in a right mess if it didn't.
No doubt.
And you've earned a reward for your trouble. I've got just the thing for you. Some mercenary once had his cuirass repaired here, but never came back for it. Who knows what happened to him? So now it's yours. It's been through a bit, but it'll still serve for a while.
Thanks. It'll come in handy. And have you got another job for me?
Young Lord Semin's wedding is coming up, and it's got my head spinning. Look, you must have seen Agnes, the bailiff's daughter, when you were in Truscovitz. What do you think of her?
I haven't seen Agnes. Is she pretty?
Pretty doesn't do her justice. She's a beauty. But she's got such a sharp tongue on her that I don't envy older at all. And how about you, lad? Have you got some lass waiting in Sasau?
No, Master Blacksmith. There's no one waiting to drag me to the altar in irons.
Good for you, lad. Have your fun while you can. No need to hurry. A wedding's a serious business. You're not just getting a bride, but a whole family. So you have to show them you're a man who's worth it. All the more so when you're noble-born. Old Semin wants a special sword forged for his son's wedding present.
Excellent. So what are we waiting for? Should we get to work?
Hold your horses. It can't be any old steel. This has to be a first-class job.
A blade of first-class steel?
That's right. And that's just the problem.
You don't want me to steal that sword, do you?
God's nails. Don't annoy me, youngster. This is a serious matter. A good blade must be flexible, but not brittle. The best blades are made from welded steel.
It would take weeks to make that kind of steel. The wedding will be a distant memory by then.
Relax, lad. I've got it all figured out, as it happens. There's this old hermit called Ambrose, living in Apollonia.
And he can pray for us?
God's nails, let me finish talking. The word is, he was fighting heathens years ago in faraway Andalusia, and folks say they saw this interesting broken sword in his hut. From the description, it seems our peculiar hermit has a real Toledo blade.
Welded Spanish steel? There's nothing better for a sword.
See now? You do understand. But there's a catch.
Naturally.
They say that Ambrose the Hermit has changed a lot recently. People from far and wide used to go to him for remedies and blessings. But now he won't see no one. I even heard he made a pact with the devil. And there have been other strange goings-on.
With the devil? Why would the hermit make a pact with the devil?
No idea. It might just be old wives' tales.
Where can I find the hermit?
Do I look like someone who goes to a hermit for advice? I know he has a hut somewhere in Apollonia. But you'll have to ask the Truscovitz womenfolk if you want to know more.
Right. I'll try to find out more about the hermit's sword. But in return, you'll get me invited to Samin's wedding.
If it means so much to you, why not? Come and see Betty from the Truscovitz Tavern. She knows all the gossip. She'll definitely tell you more about the hermit. But Henry, if there's any truth in that pact with the devil, don't get caught up in it. The best sword in the world isn't worth eternal damnation. What do you want here, you scoundrel? Why'd you barge in here?
I'll have a look at the wares.
Pleasure doing business. Take care.
Just a moment.
Hey, you! Have you done something I should know about?
Hey, where's that beer? Someone should kick their...
Greetings. Do you need something?
I need some advice.
You want some advice? Here's some. If you ever fight here again, I'll drag you out by the ear myself. Got that?
Me? I made an effort. It was Capon.
Aye, birds of a feather. Even in the pillory you were like a pair of turtle doves together. Down to business. I don't have all day for you, so what do you want?
I promised Radovan the blacksmith I'd go and see Ambrose the hermit in Apollonia.
My God, lad, stay away from them rocks. Ambrose the hermit sold his soul to the devil and won't talk to nobody no more.
Yeah, I heard that as well. But it seems a bit far-fetched.
So why would an evil spirit suddenly start appearing near Apollonia? It's the devil's work, believe you me.
And has anyone sent to the castle for the priest?
Not at all. Bailiff Thrush is keeping it quiet so far. 4 strangers came here yesterday. They sat in the corner there, but once they heard about the apparition, they started to take a big interest.
What strangers?
They looked like monks, only they had daggers concealed under their robes. I saw them clearly. I'm telling you, there's something fishy going on around Ambrose.
I'd like to get hold of that broken sword of his.
You'd hazard your soul for a piece of iron? Fool. I'd think long and hard before doing anything if I was you. Because this reeks of hell.
I'd like to ask you about that hermit in Apollonia.
Go on then.
How do I get to the hermit?
You're asking for trouble, lad. But all right, if you insist, you go through Apollonia, along the path, below the rocks, till you reach the point where it crosses the stream. And from there, you take the path uphill, to the left, leading into the rocks.
Where did these peculiar monks come from?
Hard to say, but they rode in on well-fed horses.
Monks on horseback? That's definitely odd.
Well, Bashka the Butcher says they came from the bishop about that diabolical apparition. In short, the Inquisition.
What do you know about this apparition?
Stanislav, the herds boy. He comes running into the village that night, all terrified, saying he'd seen a rider from hell in Apollonia. And the very next night, it appeared in the rocks below the road to Tahov. There's this conciliatory stone cross there. And the next day, it was at a funny angle. There's some devilry in it for sure.
And it was the herds boy who saw it by the cross, or someone else?
The apothecary's wife, Gerda. Ask her yourself. She's not been herself ever since, poor woman.
Where can I find the herds boy?
Stanislav has a sheep pen in the meadow beyond the Troskovitz graveyard, right above the big crossroads outside Apollonia.
Who's this hermit fella, anyway?
No one knows. He settled in the rocks a few years back. Folk used to go to him for various healing ointments or advice.
And what has he got to do with this apparition?
Well, he was at death's door recently, bedridden, and then suddenly he's got his health back. Just like that. And he's like a different man since then. He sends everyone who goes to see him packing. Mark my words. He sold his soul to the devil to get better. And the devil sometimes comes here on the prowl for unwary souls.
Show me your wares.
The meadows are greener, the apples are sweeter, even the beer tastes better, and the girls...
Did you drink away your hope? What is this racket here?
Guards! Do something about that carry-on!
Stop him! Guards!
He stole our horse! Quick, before that thief rides away on it!
So, here you are. Now I've got you. Surrender at once!
Easy! I surrender!
I've got you. If you think you can just steal someone's horse, you're gravely mistaken.
Are you shitting me? What a way to make some groschen.
All right, I'll pay. I don't want any trouble.
Very well. And don't let it happen again.
Piss on that fucking thief's head!
What are you
Don't
waiting for?
want you
On your way!
Greetings.
What's he doing?
What? What?